You're saying students should be prepared to do things by hand?
I won't say I won't say by hand, but some things are not always gonna come easy. You need to put the time and effort to get things done. We are using one set of tools today, and then next year, okay, we have another set of rules that seems more efficient. So it's an interesting field,
Mm.
and very challenging. I find it very challenging and interesting at the same time.
Greetings. Welcome to Eric's Angle, the podcast for Iowa State mathematics students. I am your host, Eric Weber, chair of the mathematics department. Today's guest has multiple degrees in mathematics, including a bachelor's degree from the University of Colombo in Sri Lanka and a master's degree from Boise State University. Her name is Waruni Wijayasinghe, and she is a data analyst for enrollment management research and analytics here on campus. Her office is even on the third floor of Carver Hall. Please welcome Waruni Wijayasinghe. Hi, Waruni. Welcome to Eric's Angle. Thanks for being here.
Um, Thanks for having me. It's gonna be a fun afternoon, I can see.
Yeah. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Waruni Wijayasinghe. I'm originally from Sri Lanka. I graduated with Bachelor of Science in Computational Mathematics in 2011 from University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. Um, After that, I was working as a math instructor for a while at a different university in Sri Lanka. And then I was also following a postgraduate diploma in applied statistics. And after completing that one, I wanted to further, I wanted to come for higher studies in the United States, and I got this amazing opportunity to do a master's degree in mathematics at Boise State University. So I came to the United States in August 2014. And after finishing up my master's degree in mathematics, I came to Ames to do a PhD in mathematics, and I've taken courses. I was spending my time taking courses and doing also working as a graduate. Working as a what they call
Teaching assistant?
teaching assistants. Right, right. So I was doing that work and studying, and then in about 2 years, for some reasons, I decided no, I want to take a different path. So I changed my so I was took a moment and thought this like thinking, what should I do? What um what 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 my career want I what I want my career to be. So I was reading a lot of articles looking for other positions, and I was spending a lot of time learning new skills. And in September 2021, I joined the Office of Enrollment Research and Analytics here at Iowa State to work as a data analyst, and has been working here since then.
Hmm. So, you mentioned that your undergraduate degree is in computational mathematics. So I'm
Right.
just very curious about this because at Iowa State, we at the undergraduate level, we just have mathematics.
Mhm.
And at your institution of the University of Colombo, was mathematics a separate program from computational mathematics? And if so, how were they different from each other?
So when when we first started going to the university, we had several combinations that we can pick from. So I picked doing chemistry and pure mathematics and applied mathematics. And at the end of second year, if I remember right, we can, if our grades are good, we can pick a stream that we would like to specialized on. So that's where the computational mathematics stream comes in. That's where you do like more research based work that you we have been remember we have been using MATLAB to do modeling, that kind of stuff. So I initially started as a mathematics student. I was taking math classes, but after this second year, my focus was on computational mathematics. So we were taking so many MATLAB courses and differential equation courses. So it's more like focused on mathematical modeling.
And do you think of what you do now as a data analyst? Do you think there's any element of data of mathematical modeling in what you do?
Yeah. So we do we predict enrollments for each fall intake, and we do this multiple times for each year. So so we it's so this job I find amazing. So it's like I get to do the full cycle. So here's the business question. Now we need to gather data from different sources, and then we need to combine them, reshape them, and validate what we have is the right data to solve this business problem. And then we explore the data to see what relationship that these different variables have between them. And then we go to the modeling piece that where we try a baseline model, and then here's what we get, and then we tried, okay, can we improve our can we improve our predictions, what else we can do, like. And then so it's like, so with this job, I see the whole process from the beginning to the end. And then we need to, so after we have the results and we decide, okay, this is the best one we can have with this data for this business problem, we then communicate with enrollment leaders. What this is the number we have, and how we get that, and why we did that, and why we think so we justify that that's the best we can get at this point with this data. So it's pretty it's a yeah, I mean, I've been so math, the foundation I have from the math background has been helping me in many ways to do this job pretty
Great.
effectively.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. I always like to hear that mathematics is doing a great job preparing students for careers in all sorts of areas. That's really what we
Mhm.
want to do. We want to have that type of impact in other contexts outside of academic environments. So you mentioned something like exploration. Like, what does that, what do you mean by exploring the data? What does that look like?
So yeah, that's a good question. So once we have the data set built for a particular business problem, um, it's important that we get a background knowledge. Okay, what do we have? Like for example, if you look at undergraduate students and we need to predict the enrollment for the next recruitment cycle, so we look at various variables to predict the enrollment for the next year, like what the application date, when did they submit the application, when did they got admitted to ISU, and when did they accept the offer, and then what's the gender, what's the ethnicity, what's the state they are coming from, are they resident, are they non-residents, are they international students, if they are international students, what countries they are coming from. So it's important that you get a background of your data. What do we have in this data? And to look at how many we have had past year, how many is there a pattern? Okay, we have a drop in um, female, and we are getting high number of um, male students. So, I mean, it gives the background knowledge, and then we do in visualization. So exploration means actually we do lots of graphs and charts to see what we can get from this data. So that's how we explore. If they're like, if I mean, so other things that we look at is if there any relationship between the variables that we use. Like for example, in with the past history, is like student applying earlier, are they more like have a high enrollment rate? So things like that. So it's good to have that background knowledge before you go into the modeling phase. So it's sometimes it's yeah, with that knowledge it's easy to interpret the results that you see that you get out from the modeling phase.
Hmm. So you were talking specifically about enrollment projections. And I have a couple of questions about that in just out of curiosity. So one is, do your projections ever are they ever constructed using simulations?
Um, no, we don't do simulations. We use past history. So we use multiple techniques to do the predictions. One is regression. We use probit regression. So for that, we use student level data, and we use usually, I mean, we have discussions. Okay, how far we should be using for each run, and then so we decide how many years of data we are going to use for the probit regression. And then we use that past history to predict, okay, in the history, this type of so a student with these attributes have enrolled. So if we have a different student with kind of similar attributes, what would be the likelihood to predict? So we use past history for that. And then we have another technique, which is called time series analysis, which looks at many years. I think it goes back to 20 or 25 years. So at this year, we have this much of enrollment. This year, we have this much of enroll. And then we have a line chart. And then we use time series technique to predict next year how many we are likely to get at the Iowa states. And we do it like we have couple groups that we look at differently.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And do you ever do long-term projections, like multiple years into the future? I know the university looks at those things, but do you do that
Mm-hmm.
yourself?
I haven't been involved. I have been involved in the discussions, but the modeling phase is done by one of our
Mm.
colleagues. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. He's the one who's doing the five. I think we go up until 5 years,
Mm.
the projections. Yeah.
Hmm. Those seem like fun. A
It
lot of
is.
very high level of variability when you're
Yes.
trying to do
When you
things
go to
out 5 years.
5 years, yeah, yeah, yeah. Lots of things can change between 5 years. So it's, yeah, the audience should be very careful
Right.
when you go that far.
So what are some other ways that your mathematics training has helped you in your current position?
So we respond to data request, and then sometimes we get requests to do analysis. So we look at like for example, oh, can you look at why we see a drop in let's say for example first generation students, is there a pattern? Has this been happening for multiple years? These first generation students, is it a drop in first year students, which buckets they fill in? Can you do an analysis? So we do that, and we look at their academic profiles. So it's basically it's each day it's problem solving and checking the quality of the data that we are putting out. So, and critical thinking, analytical thinking, what is that? Okay, we have this question in our hand, what data we should use, where should we where do we have that, and how do we combine if they are coming from different sources, and cleaning. So each step you need to think carefully, is that the right way to get to do this? So that's what I my day-to-day work looks like.
Yeah, so the critical thinking, it makes me think about how we sometimes have students claim that they got the answer from the calculator, and because the calculator said the answer was this, then that must be correct. But just because the calculator says something doesn't mean that that's the correct answer. And now we're getting the same phenomenon with artificial intelligence too, right? So
Right,
so
right,
yours
right.
is what I'm picturing with what you're describing is that's next level. So you're dealing with very large amounts of data. You're dealing with very, relatively speaking, complicated code to do the data processing and manipulation and so forth. And so you have to be very skeptical or careful with what the output says. You have to scrutinize it carefully. So this is what I'm picturing or
True.
imagining. Is that an apt description of what you're getting at?
It's true. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, technology is nice. I mean, we should be using it, but when we use that, we should be attentive, and we very responsible and think through, okay, this is what I'm taking from this AI tool. I mean, I use AI tools too when I'm like stuck. Okay, I'm stuck. What I'm doing wrong? How can I improve this code? So I use AI, but still sometimes it doesn't work. I mean, sometimes, well, it sometimes give the right answer. Okay, I put that back and yeah, it's worked, but it doesn't work always. So need to think think it through. What could it be? You need to sometimes it you have to go you need to use other resources too. Look at the articles, look at the the like if you use Python, they have pretty good descriptions of how to use the library. So you need to read it through and understand, okay, where I'm where am I stuck, and what could be the possible solution to fix this. So it should be a mix. It should always be a mix of things. You can use these nice AI tools, but then again, sometimes you have to go to the old way of doing things too. So be prepared. You need to be prepared for both ways.
You're saying students should be prepared to do things by hand?
I won't say I won't say by hand, but yeah, you need to, in some things are not always gonna come easy. You need to put the time and effort to get things done. Yeah, I would put it like that.
Hmm.
Well, in 5, 10 years, I don't know, the technology is growing up. It's the field industry is evolving. It's constantly evolving. We are using one set of tools today, and then next next year, okay, we have another set of rules that seems more efficient. So we should transform so that we can do our work effectively and efficiently and save time and do more critical work. So it's an interesting field
Mm.
and very challenging. I find it very challenging and interesting at the same time.
Yeah, it is. It is very interesting. It's certainly interesting the development, the evolution of the AI tools that we're trying
Mhm.
to get a handle on for our courses. So when you were a student as an undergraduate in majoring in computational math, did you anticipate your career would be so data oriented?
Um, to to be honest, at that time I wasn't fully aware of the many path that I could try on. So I was just living, I was just going day by day. Okay, I like to do this, and I would like to do this for my research. And then I will see what else I can do when I get to that moment. So I was kind of that. And once I come to the United States, it opened up many doors for me. I was seeing what other colleagues are doing for their research. So it was kind of amazing to do what kind of things that we can do when we start with the math background. So yeah, no, I didn't have an idea that I will end up with this job, but when I was looking for positions and when I was looking for industries and looking for that like the carriers, this is something that caught my eye. Oh, I would like this one. I want to get my skills up to speed so that I can land the job that I want and then do a better work on that.
Well, I'm
Yeah, that
glad that
was.
you found it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's very nice having you here on campus, actually in Carver Hall. Your office is just down the hall from me. So it's great
Right,
to be
right.
able to see you and interact with you. So Waruni, it was great having you appear on Eric's Angle. Thanks for joining me.
So much for having me. It was great talking with you.